few months ago, the court has set free the alleged killer of Mrs. Kudirat Abiola. What is the reaction of the family to this? Have you forgiven them, or do you think you want to go back to court and continue to prosecute this?
No, I definitely want to go back to court because I'm telling you, justice delayed is basically justice, denied. And the bottom line here is, okay, I'm a Muslim, so under our religion, it basically says, leave everything to Allah. So I do. To a certain extent. But you see, what we have here is even the person that we're accusing of doing this crime should be able to look at himself in the mirror. There should be no pretense here. He's a wicked person and he should never be put in any form of or position where he can perpetrate his evilness anymore. It wasn't only my mother that he was accused of coming after. There were many people. And then look, I'm telling you, if 2-3 people say something about you, look, maybe it's time that you look inward to see if what they're really saying is true. I will ask them that if they were given the same order to take the gun out of their holster, put it to their heads and shoot themselves in their heads, would they do it? And if the answer to that question is no, they won't shoot themselves, then they should know, they will know that there's a right and wrong. So if they now know there's a right and wrong, then no matter anything that you are, who you are, you're a soldier, you're this, when you have been put in a situation where you're supposed to pick between the right and wrong, it is always good to go in the path of right. That's why when I hear people saying we should ask God, we should do for God, I tell them, I say, look, if you do the right thing and you walk in the right path, then you walk in with God.
So you very simple. You want to go back to court to continue?
We are going back to court.
Is it the family stance or your personal stance?
This is the Kudirat Abiola family stance, is to get justice for my mother, and that's just the bottom line. Those who have left, the Al-Mustafas of this world that have left, is just sending a message just to the other Al-Mustafas that are going to come up. That look, no matter what happens, all you have to do is go to the court, procrastinate, and after a while, people will start saying, oh, he has spent enough time there. I don't care if he spends 200 years in jail, if that is how long it takes before we get the right judgment. The man is a terrorist. He shouldn't even be out to see his kids, and his kids too should be careful of such a man, because any small thing, you could just send somebody to them too.
Former president of Nigeria, Obasanjo, came up only recently to say that to recognize Abiola as one great hero, but he never did while he was in office. What's your estimation or evaluation of the
Abiola, Obasanjo, I think that would be a question best for Obasanjo. You can ask him why, after such a long time, he has now decided to give my father the respect he deserves. But then again, we can just let you know the Nigerian mentality, especially the Yoruba people mentality. We're very petty. That's life. You're fighting, you're pulling ground with a dead man. To me, that is nothing more. There's nothing greater than madness to be, trying to assault somebody that is already not living anymore. So all I try to say is, in the United States, what we find is when we have heroes that have passed, the easiest way, instead of using so much energy and trying to smear their name and say he wasn't the chosen one, he wasn't the Messiah, or he has all these skeletons, he has a lot of wives, he will sleep with your wife, or whatever story, instead of doing that, it's better, because all the effort you're doing that, you are just wasting energy. It's better to just give him, because nobody is perfect, so you give him honor due to him, knowing that he was just a human being. He's not God. So you're like, if they say now that he likes a lot of women, that's why they didn't give him. If he was sleeping with men, they'll have said, oh, he likes men, that's why we can't give him out. Oh man, say, that kind of thing. So there's always a reason why they won't want to do something. So let's not look at that petty nonsense. But Nigerian people are naturally petty. We should leave this pettiness and think about our tomorrow. You see, my father did something, and 21 years later they're talking about it. I can't tell you any of our leaders today that would die, and 21 later they'll be still talking about them. So let them know that people can actually live on. We should keep the country together, because this is what Abiola wanted. This is what I want. My children wanted. When I go out of the country, when they ask me, where are you from? I never say I'm Yoruba. I never say I'm Igbo. I just say I am Nigerian. And that is the beautiful thing.
One thing that a lot of Nigerians are really curious about now is whether there's still unity between the family.
You see, the unity between our family, you see, what we have in our family is just a political family. And that's what it is. You see, that should let you know that, you see, my father was doing politics in my house, so he had a better understanding of the politics outside. So basically, if we have some certain people who are saying other things, you should try to look at the underlying aspects of why they're saying these things. I know that my brother Kola was very funny about the Centennial Award. But if you heard what the president said about Abiola, he actually gave him the contribution for the June 12 and the democracy we have today. So what I want to say is really that I just think that we just need to move forward. We have too many problems ahead of us. We should stop thinking about the past. Move on. We keep just doing the same things and looking for different results. That's madness. You can't do the same things over and over again looking for the same results. What I actually hope is that we look at the past and see where we made mistakes and then try to...
Like, do you as a person have a mind for politics?
I was born with politics in my veins. There's nothing I can do now. Like, it's because it's so sad that, I thought that if it was better, maybe I'll just, stick to my trade, which is IT. But things are so bad that,
That you want to consider politics?
It's not to consider politics. It's to just find or make solutions. I think we need to form solutions. If I can help in that in any way, because my name is Abiola, there's something I can say and do, or invest my energy in, I'm ready to do that, just to give the tomorrow a chance. That is the most important thing. I don't think there's anything else.
One of late Abiola's wives, Onitiri Abiola, is running for Lagos State governorship. Is the family going to give her support?
Look, if she's there's my dad had a lot of wives, like I already told you. So any one of us that wants to do anything, I just hope she's ready because the Abiola name is a thing that we should be very careful of. Because even with my immediate family, we're very careful of who we associate with, because we don't want to smear these years of, especially because there's so much that we're working on. Even as now that people might think it's so bad, you see, before the sunlight, it gets the most darkest. So I'm really predicting that there's going to be a brighter future for us, and I'm just excited to just the possibilities of that future. So really, I don't really care.
So you're pronouncing support for Mrs. Onitiri?
Yes, I support anybody who has the interest of their people in heart. So whoever, if she's really about the people, I support. There's some people that I can look at and say I support, but then there's some people who I just think are doing this for their own personal benefits, and that is where we should draw a line.
Well,